Now we're gathering here to celebrate an initiative that's been bringing people together in the spirit of unity and peace for 25 years. This initiative was launched by our esteemed late Swami Nirliptananda in 2000 and stands as a beacon of hope and harmony amongst Indogenic religions. We'll hear shortly a bit more about Swamiji and the conception of Om Day from two long-standing supporters and devotees, Miss Bharti Taylor and Uncle Ball. But just to give you a quick introduction of what to expect in today's programme. Today's programme is filled with enriching experiences designed to deepen our connection with one another and with our shared spiritual roots. In the first half of the programme, we will hear from some thought-provoking talks from representatives of Indogenic faiths, reflecting our shared spiritual roots, and also after the refreshment break, we'll be enjoying captivating cultural performances and taking part in meditative practices that echo the essence of Om throughout the programme. And now, without further ado, I'd like to ask Pandit Sureshji, who's trustee of the London Sevashram Sangha, to lead us in a peace prayer to honour those who have departed and sadly are no longer with us in person. Panditji.
Brothers and sisters, and our distinguished guests, Namaste. Greetings to you all. I will ask respectfully if you would stand. Well-being in all. May there be peace in all. May there be fulfillment in all. May there be auspiciousness in all. Om, peace, peace, peace.
And our guests, thank you very much.
Om, the life reservoir and sustainer. Om, the creator and resolver. Om, the universal protector. Om, the remover of sorrows. Om, the all bliss provider. Om, the bearer of strength and splendor. Om, of all compassion. Om is worthy of adoration. May we all worship Om. By meditating Om, our minds become purer. By chanting Guru Mantra Om, our minds remain pure. Day by day, our intellect will increase as we merge with our Dharma. Our wisdom will increase as we shed our outer differences, and Om will lead us to salvation. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
And now I'd like to ask Party Taylor to come to the stage. Party has been a long-standing supporter of Om Day and Swami Nirliptananda personally, and has been involved in leadership roles at both the Hindu Forum of Europe and Hindu Forum of Britain, as well as interfaith dialogues and advocacy, emphasising equality and diversity. I'd like to ask her to share a few words about her interactions with Swamiji and Om Day. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do we have any Buddhists in the audience? Any Sikhs? Satyakal, Charanjit. I used to be on her Hounslow Interfaith when I lived around there, so it's lovely to see you there. Sila Vimalaji, the Venerable Sila Vimalaji, and I've sort of interacted. Interfaith Network, 2012 Olympics? Yes, but the introduction was made by Swamiji in 2009. So lovely to have you here. Any Jains? Jajinendra, if there are any Jains. Vinod Bhai Kapashi, I also know. Last year I went to his temple to give a talk on prison chaplaincy, actually, because that was my other hat. Alongside working for Hindu Forum of Europe and Hindu Forum of Britain, I served as a prison chaplain for almost 20 years. So some of the introductions when I first came to London in 2009 were done by Swami Nirliptananda. And I remember sitting with him, and he told me about his vision for what he used to call the Indogenic religions. The Indogenic religions being those that have originated in what was Greater India. So Jainism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism. And he had a vision that not only should we all meet together but work together, because we share some basic truths as we see them. We all share Dharma. We also all share the belief in reincarnation. Yeah? And one other, and we have all of these in common. And he felt that as we believe in Dharma, karma, and reincarnation, we should all be able to work together and bring something more than our individual faiths to the UK. Work together in the UK, and then we can see what happens in the rest of the world afterwards. And that was his vision in starting the Om Day. So I wasn't here at the beginning, but there are people in the audience who were here in the year 2000. My association is from 2009 onwards. And this link, it would be between the leaders, and that remains because we're here at the Buddhist Vihara, because the Venerable Sila Vimbala had that link with Swami Nirliptananda. But also between our people, so that if somebody tries to incite one against the other, we would have a different opinion, because we work together, we live together, we sometimes come together to discuss our faiths and traditions, not just dharma, karma and reincarnation, but perhaps the differences as well. But we wouldn't be drawn into anything which might lead to conflict. So his vision of dialogue and so on, I think we need to work on and become better at it over time. 25 years, but in between we had COVID, and sadly we lost Swamiji. And so there was a little bit of a lull, but we're back. We have some very lovely young people involved, and you've just seen 2 or 3 of them on the stage. And hopefully, all together, we can have that vision of Swamiji's for the Indogenic religions. also known by various other names. Some people call them the Indic religions, those that originated in India, those which are from the East, some people would say. But the whole idea is that together we work towards having a good dialogue in interfaith and in our communities. So I hope that in the future the Venerable Sila Vimala is able to persuade more of his followers to actually join us on the day and learn more about Om Day, and in the same way more Sikhs come along and more Jains come along, and that we have dialogue whilst we're here as well. That would be my vision, to be able to mix with the different faiths here, as well as with the leadership of those faiths, which for me has been very rewarding. And in case you're tired of hearing it, you might want to close your ears, but I'm going to repeat what that relationship can mean. 2012 Olympics, we had to make a list a year and a half ahead of what we need in the temples. And I forgot to add flowers to my list. But the Venerable Sila Vimala had added flowers to his list. And so, all throughout the Olympics, he gave me flowers to put in the temple. That is the power of working together, and I will never forget that. So thank you for allowing me to speak a little bit on Swamiji's vision of Om Day, and hopefully I'll be involved in future ones and see how we all go forward. Namaste.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Take some water in your right hands. Om Amrito Pastanamasi Swaha. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashasri Mai Sri Swayatam Swaha. Take some water in the left palm. And using the two fingers, the middle finger and the ring finger of the right hand, touch the various parts of the body. Om Bhagavate Hasyastu Om Nasurame Pranavastu Om Akshoname Chakshurastu Om Karuname Srotramastu Om Bahurame Balamastu Om Gurudurame Ojvayastu Om Arishtani Meangani Tanustanvami Sahasantu. Please light with the ears in front of you. Om Bhurva Swaha Om Bhurva Swaha Bhauriva Bhuna Prithviva Varimna Tasyaste Prithvi Devaratne Krishne Agni Mannada Mannadayadade. Just gently fan the fire. Om Utpatya Swagani Pratijagrite Tvamishta Puryate Samsrijetam cha Asmin Sarhaste Adyutarasmin Vishvedeva Yajmana Prasidata. We will recite the Gayatri Mantra as we make our offerings. Before we make any offerings, we will do the Gayatri Mantra 3 times. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha.
Dear friends of the members of the London Sevashram Sangha, and also representatives of the different faiths, I'm so delighted to see everyone here who are here today gathered for this wonderful event of the Om Day, the annual Om Day. We gathered here today after 4 or 5 years, if I am correct, a long gap caused by the global COVID disaster and also passing of our beloved founding member of Om Day, Swami Nirliptananda. He was a man of vision, deeply committed to the idea of unity in a diverse society. He dedicated his life to this cause through the principles of Hindu Dharma. Many people were touched and inspired by his voice and message. He was a very good friend of our former head monk, Most Venerable Dr. Vajrayanana, and also both they have same vision and work together for the unity and peace in this diverse society. We have very great respect and gratitude to both of them. Also, he was a good friend of mine as well. As Bharti Taylor has mentioned about the Olympic village, it is a very inspiring idea to remind me the Olympic village where we work together as faith representative for 21 days. It's very memorable time. We all together, joined together, prayed together, and also we enjoyed very much our time at the Olympic village. I remember I was allowed to bring flowers. Actually, no one was allowed to take anything, even water, bottle of water. But I had very, very good blessings, and they said, you are allowed to take flowers to the Olympic village. Then I had taken a lot of flowers from our Vihara and shared with Taylor and other faith leaders, as I remember. Today, interfaith dialogue is one of the most meaningful tools we have for building unity. These kinds of meetings are more than just rituals. They are practices of peace, understanding, and collaboration. In today's world, this message is more important than ever. We are facing serious global challenges, and some even fear the possibility of another world war. From small personal quarrels to the massive international conflicts, the root causes are often the same: greed, hatred, and lack of understanding that we are all interconnected. What happens in one part of the world can affect the whole world, whole planet. That's why doing what is good and right is not just a personal matter, it is a global responsibility. History offers us many lessons. For example, there was once a war between the people living near the river of Rohini in India. The Buddha interfered with that quarrel and asked a simple question: which is more powerful, the water or the human blood? Then they were thinking about the question of the Buddha, and they agreed to stop the war and had a conversation how to divide water among the people. So therefore, universal love is more powerful tool to develop unity and peace in our society. That in Buddhism we say metta, loving kindness. I would like to read a little part of the metta sutta, discourse of universal love, unconditioned love. May all beings be happy and secure. May their hearts be wholesome. Whatever living being there be, those mentally feeble or strong, physically low, stout or medium, short, small or large, those seen or unseen, dwelling far or near, those who are born and those who are to be born, may all beings without exception be happy-minded. So I quote that part from the Universal Declaration of Loving Kindness. So we need very important qualities to develop unity and peace in our society. For example, remind us that tolerance, dialogue, and inner discipline are not signs of weakness, they are the foundation of peace. Let us honor Swami Nirliptananda's vision by continuing to work for the unity, mutual respect and understanding in our beautifully diverse society. And also I remember I see many friends like us, everyone. I'm very grateful, I'm very happy, delighted to see all of you today here. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Pranam. Just taking a moment to honor my Guru, Sri Bhagwan, the founder and the core of the International Vedanta Society. My deepest gratitude and salutations to him
along with Sangha Janani, Guruma. My salutations also to our revered speakers and to Swami Nirliptananda and to everyone here. It's really an honor to be here, and I'm feeling very honored that I have been invited to stand before you today to give some words, and I hope that this honor can itself be honored in my words. So first of all, the Honourable Mrs. Bharati Taylor gave us a vision of what it means to be in unity. I would like to present you with another vision of unity, which is also involves flowers. So this garland that was presented to me today, actually this is an example that's often used by my Guru Sri Bhagwan of what is a garland and what it's made up of and what it symbolises actually. So within the garland, as you can see, there are many, many flowers. Many different flowers that are all woven together by a thread. Sometimes you have garlands made of many different kinds of flowers, or sometimes the garland itself will be made of the same flower. But regardless, there are many pieces that are woven together to create that garland. Now, we have the centerpiece, and we have many pieces, many flowers around the side. Every part of the garland is actually important, whether it's the centerpiece or whether it's the flowers around the side. You wouldn't be able to have a garland without any of those flowers. But beyond the flowers, there's another part of the garland that is also very important, without which there would be no garland. And that is the string. And in this case, the string is golden and shiny and quite lovely, but quite often the string is very dull and just plain white, and it doesn't have anything interesting about it at all. But that piece is a vital part of the garland. So that piece could be described in many ways in terms of how we can come together as a garland. There are many different words to describe according to different religions, according to different philosophies, according to different walks of life. We will use many different words. According to many different languages also, we will use many different words. So the word itself is not important though, is it? It's the essence of what it actually is that's far more important. So one story to highlight this is a story of 3 people meeting at a well to collect water. So they gathered at this well, and but before they even took the water, they started arguing amongst themselves. And what were they arguing about? The name of what we call the water. Some person said, "This is pani." Another one said, No, you're wrong, you're very wrong. It's water." Another person said, No, that's not true. How could you say that? It's agua. And another person, it could go on for as many people as would gather there actually. Meanwhile, a child came along, just went past all the adults, took some water in its hand, drank water and left. And the adults themselves hadn't even satisfied their thirst or hadn't come for what they had come for. So, what I understand from this is that this is what practice gives us. This is what practice gives us. It allows us to take the water and drink it, to taste it, to feel it, to have the effect of it, rather than just judge it by the word. We live in a world today that has so many words, so many words. And religion can be confined to words if we want it to be, but it doesn't have to be, and it's not supposed to be either. We're supposed to take the words and understand what is the essence of what is being described. We all have labels for ourselves as well, whether it's our name, whether it's our profession, whether it's any other name or word. But we know, many of us, most of us know that that's not who we are. So, yes, as I was introduced earlier, I'm from the International Vedanta Society, and I feel very blessed that myself, who was born in England, in this culture, christened in a church as a child, my family moved to Australia, so I grew up there. But I found myself at the age of 25 in India. And it's in India that I started to understand everything that I hadn't understood before. Actually, as a child, in school, we did have religious studies, and at that time in Australia, this was confined to Christianity. So I learned a little bit about Jesus, but growing up, Jesus appeared to be a fantasy or a fairy tale. I didn't understand that Jesus was an actual person. Going to India and meeting my guru, I then understood, yes, Jesus himself was also real. And it's possible that we can also become as he had to become. And this is what, actually, according to my guru, what he has said is that religion is about becoming, or religion is becoming. There's another word that I learned, or a phrase that I learned from my guru, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. This is also possible. This is possible, really, that we can do this. And it's really lovely hearing the stories already this morning about how we can touch each other's lives and inspire each other. And for me, walking this path actually means that why I chose to dedicate my life to spirituality and lead a monastic life. It's because this girl, as I said, that was raised in Australia, born in the UK, I was directionless actually in my life. I didn't have a direction. But when I met somebody who had realized what is beyond the words, who had tasted the water and drank the water, then I got so much impacted by what that actually means that I decided to practice that in my life. And slowly that has become what my life has been all about. And I hope that I can use my life in such a way. I was reading recently in Yoga Vasishta Laghu, and this, as you probably know, is the discourse between Sri Rama and sage Vasishta. Now Sri Rama, in that time, in the beginning of the text, he's yet to realize that knowledge. So he sees the world as it is with his vivek, or his discrimination. He can see that the world is not true, but the world, everyone is struggling. And he gives a metaphor of life. He said a lifespan is like a dewdrop on a leaf. And for me that was a very striking image, that this lifespan, and as Mrs. Taylor spoke earlier, that here we all believe in reincarnation. So this is this journey from birth to death, like a dewdrop on a leaf. What happens to that? Any moment the wind comes and moves the leaf and it falls off. Just like that. So it can be very insignificant. Or we can use that time in a way that we can inspire each other. For me, as my guru inspired me, to become, and to be an example within our community about what is possible actually within our life. And that could be to do with this high spiritual truth that we all know about, but also just to become a good person. Swami Vivekananda said that religion or spirituality is the journey from brute man to Buddha man. So for me, what I understand is being a human is somewhere in the middle. So at least we should try and embody those real, pure human qualities to become human. And then if we can march on to become as Buddha had become as well. So just to summarize, this becoming. And what is becoming? It's about knowing yourself, knowing deeply who you are. And by knowing deeply who you are, then we can experience this unity within us, this peace within us. We heard about the different wars and the different conflicts that are going on today. But actually, there is also that, or there can be that going on within us. But if we know ourselves deeply and truly, and if we become whole and complete, then that peace, that love, that unity, I will find it within myself, and then truly I can be of service for humanity, because then I don't need anything, or I'm not lacking anything. So as the Upanishads express, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamada Chate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purneva Visheshate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So from that whole and complete, the Creator is whole and complete. And from that whole and complete Creator, the creation is whole and complete. And even if you take something from that whole and complete, that absolute, it is still absolute. There is nothing but that absolute. And as the, again, Upanishads say, you are that, thou art that, thou art that. So if we can know ourselves and look within, then we can really achieve in the world what we have come here today to discuss and to practice. And thank you again for having me here. It's a real honor, and especially to be here on the 25th anniversary. And I'm learning a lot from all of you. And yes, I would like to take a lot of inspiration from today, and that for each of us, there are so many of us here actually. So each of us, if we can inspire one other person, then we can do a lot, and that will just continue to grow. So thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much.
Friends who are linked with Home Day, greetings. First of all, my heartiest congratulations on restarting Home Day. It seemed like that it was some time back that there was a gap. And we also, let's not forget, coming from India, we are doing it in the context of Air India plane crash in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, which has led to tragic loss of life from all our diverse communities, and particularly within the Hindu community, Jains and other faiths. And coming from Hangzhou, I know there are a number of families who are affected, and they are not all from within the Hindu community. They are Methodist friends who also lost their lives. So, and as Hangzhou Friends of Faith, we have supported the prayer and condolence events in all our Hindu mandirs, masjids and churches associated with passengers, their families and communities. And on 28th June, as part of our annual walk of peace and friendship, we were here in this very spiritual place, Vihara. We always get tremendous hospitality. And you were not here, Venerable Sira Vimla, you were in Sri Lanka, but we were well looked after by Venerable Bandula, who shared Buddha's teachings for a peaceful life, individually and as members of the community. And may I also congratulate this community, this Vihara, because it's their centenary year and a matter of great pride for all us all. I should also not forget that tomorrow, as Londoners, we will be commemorating 20 years when 4 bombs fell on our tube trains and buses. And it was a big loss of life. And trauma of that has stayed with many of us over the years. And that also teaches us that we must all strive for peace in whatever way we can. But also, since yesterday, there are other things which I want to share with you, and share with you the good news. I don't know how many of you went to the Lakshmi Narayan temple in Hounslow. After 3 days of pujas, which started on 3rd July, it culminated in a momentous celebration of the unveiling of the deities at the upper, much bigger floor, which was witnessed by hundreds of devotees from around Hangzhou and beyond. And there were many civic and faith-based dignitaries representing local community. It was indeed a joyous occasion and in many ways an interfaith occasion. The same evening, the World Zoroastrian Center in Feltham, and quite a number of you may remember Freddie Mercury, celebrated 25 years of their priest service to the British community at a special dinner last night. So very much a harmonious Hounslow reaction. Today, we are thinking of Om Day as people of the Dhammic traditions, and of course Bharti and others have mentioned Hindus, Buddhists, Jains and Sikhs who came from the same region. The word Om has many connotations, believed to be the original sound from which the universe was created, the first vibration of existence, the primordial sound. Now this is how I understand it to be from the Hindu tradition. And maybe the Buddhist and the Jain communities also have some understanding to the divine in the same way. But particularly in the context of the Hindu community, the divine is sometimes considered the Holy Trinity, as the Christians do, creator, preserver and destroyer. In the Sikh tradition, which we recite as part of our morning prayer, with one utterance, the whole creation came into being. Our sacred most scripture, Sri Guru Granth Sahib, begins with the invocation Ik Onkar, one divine creator, in numeral one, so that there should be no doubt that there is one God who created one humanity in all its diversity, and all that inhabits our earth home. We have diverse languages, customs, traditions, and yet we recognize the commonality of us all. Sharing together in platforms such as this is important, both for a common quest for the good of us all, whose ethnic and demographic origin is in India, and I am usually talking about undivided India. We get really caught up about religion and identity, and we lose the essence of faith. And I am very fond of quoting Karen Armstrong, the best-selling author on comparative religion and founder of the Charter of Compassion. She remarked in an international conference on cohesive communities or cohesive societies, all our religious traditions are like fingers pointing to the moon. Very so often we focus on fingers and forget about the moon. I also feel that we must not forget our individual and collective responsibility towards our mother, the planet Earth, our environment, and our fellow beings. The Sikh morning prayer in in which Guru Nanak reminds us is, and this is a section of that prayer, air is the Guru, water the Father, the earth the Holy Mother. Day and night are female and male nurses, in whose laps the whole world plays. The good deeds and bad deeds are recorded by the Supreme Dharma. Sorry, it's taking me a little while to turn the page with the fan in the background. Okay. Just a second. And our actions determine whether we are closer to the divine or furthest away. It's our actions. And meditation is very much part of that important link with the divine. This year is also very special for us Sikhs. We are commemorating 350th Martyr Day anniversary of our 9th Guru Tegh Bahadur. Why I am saying that is, his martyrdom was not about he of the Sikh faith or his followers of the Sikh faith, but because it's about the human rights of others. In his case, the right of the subjected Hindu community to live their faith in peace and free from oppression from the ruling class under the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, who terrorized people who were not Muslim into submission by forcible conversions to the Islamic faith. It was a superb act of self-giving for others, not just by way of sympathy or empathy for those whose viewpoint we do not share. The Gurus and the Sikhs, since the times of Guru Nanak, had not accepted. This is the very important Hindu practice of the wearing of Janein. Yet, the protection of the right of the Hindus to have Janein was the reason why the Guru gave up his life. And what is even more important, in my view, this happened in 1675, the whole issue of freedom of conscience and acceptance of diversity in belief. This is a great and generous legacy to humanity. And it was only on 10th December 1948 that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was agreed by the United Nations. And it was then that the right of freedom of thought, conscience and religion was accepted. It was quite a long time after that that's what happened. So, the words he used by the 10th Guru to describe Guru Tegh Bahadur's sacrifice is Tilk Janju Rakha Prabhsataka Kyo Bado Kalu Misal. He protected the Tilk and Janeil. In that age of darkness, he performed a grand deed. He made a supreme sacrifice for the sake of righteousness in faith. He gave his head and uttered not a groan. He endured this martyrdom to uphold the righteousness. He gave his head, but not his determination and principles. The principles are to take care of the others, to respect others for what the others are about. And Guru Nanak, the first Guru of the Sikhs, had with him on all his journeys a Hindu, a Bala and a Muslim Mardana on all his journeys. And he made about 25,000 miles of journeys on foot, which is not quite heard easily in this way. So what I'm trying to say is that what is it that my faith tells me to do? It is, first of all, the Holy Scripture itself has the writings of Hindu and Muslim saints as well as Sikh gurus. So the first anthology of interfaith itself, and there are many references to the Buddhists and Jains. And the reason for that is that it's important for the Sikhs to foster good relations with all people, Sikh and non-Sikh, because the Sikhs believe that we are all children of the same parent. Sabad Phala, for the good of all, humans and everything in nature that exists, is the prayer with which we end every congregational worship. Bharti mentioned, and you also mentioned about the transmigration of soul. We all believe in that. And that is all the more reason for us to do good deeds in this life. It is all the more important that this human life, which we have received after I don't know how many, we usually say 800 and 400,000 life forms. Let's not lose it. Let's think about each other. Let's think about that it's a precious life and we must lead it as a life of prayer, a life of peace with each other and harmony with each other, and our life in terms of human relationships and a life in relation to our own internal relationships are very essential in order for us to make friends with people from across faith communities. And I think this is where we can all lead a good ethical life and at the same time have an interfaith dialogue which goes beyond the stalk. Thank you very much indeed.
As I mentioned, unfortunately, Dr. Vinod Kapashiobi from the Jain community couldn't be with us due to ill health. He has, however, emailed his speech, and so I will read this out. I do apologise in advance for any mispronunciation. So, Global Vision for Unity, Peace and Harmony by Dr. Vinod Kapashi, Jai Jinendra, and Namaskar to all my friends. First and foremost, I express my heartfelt gratitude to you for organising this beautiful and meaningful event, and for inviting me to speak on a topic that is deeply relevant in today's world. I would like to begin by remembering and paying my respects to Swamiji, an ardent believer in peace and harmony, and a true embodiment of love. In the world we live in today, we are constantly confronted by bloodshed, hunger and oppression. These realities compel us to ask, is there no lasting solution to these conflicts? How can some people carry such deep hatred for fellow human beings? Have we lost the capacity to feel compassion for the suffering of others? Or are we simply helpless, prayers in a global game dominated by power and commercial interests, where human values are pushed aside? We often speak of peace and harmony, but yet they seem to drift further away. We speak of cooperation, yet time and again we see ruthless selfishness overpower the gentle waves of peaceful coexistence. I come from the Jain community, and we follow the teachings of Lord Mahavira and other enlightened masters who came before them. One of the sacred scriptures, the Tattvatu Sutra, teaches Parasparo Paragraho Jivanam, all life is interdependent. When we say all life, we mean all life. Humans, animals, birds, trees, and even the tiniest microbes. To ensure our own survival, we must actively work to protect all forms of life, not only for their sake, but for ours as well. Our happiness, health, and existence are intricately tied to the well-being of everything around us. I once came across a beautiful line that conveys this idea powerfully. In the tapestry of life, we are all interconnected threads, woven together by the divine. If the threads are broken or poorly connected, the entire tapestry loses its meaning and beauty. Yet, despite this understanding, the global economy and powerful nations often exploit resources for their own advantage, driven by greed and self-interest. The consequences are visible and devastating. Another profound Jain principle is anekantavada, the acceptance of multiple viewpoints. This concept is one of the three central pillars of Jain philosophy, alongside ahimsa, which is non-violence, and aparigraha, non-possessiveness. Anekantavada teaches us that while your perspective may differ from mine, we must learn to recognize, respect, and understand these differences. Only then can we live together in peaceful coexistence. As the poet and activist Audre Lorde wisely said, it is not our differences that divide us, but our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. We must also embrace the eternal wisdom of Vedic philosophy, which reminds us that while we are tiny and seemingly insignificant parts of this vast universe, each of us carries within a divine spark, a fragment of the Almighty guiding light. Let that light inspire us, guide us, and lead us on the path towards unity and immortality. Let peace prevail on this earth. Let peace prevail throughout the universe. Om Shanti. Now, I do like to wish Dr. Kibashi a very speedy recovery and thank him for sending across his speech. That does now conclude the talks from our speakers. I'd now like to ask the President of London Sevashram Sangha, Mr. Dilip Chakraborty, to come up and say a few concluding remarks. Thank you.
I express my pronoun to the holy speakers and guests here, and particularly to Reverend Sulayamala. Please excuse my pronunciation, it's not always good. And Dr. Ajit Singh and Mrs. Ajit Singh, and of course Brahmachari Janmalima. In fact, it was a wonderful exposure. I myself learned quite a lot in the discussion that has happened today. So in a way, we are very grateful for all the four Indogenic faiths which have gathered together and to work for the same cause, which is peace and harmony. Now that brings me to one or two personal, I will recollect one personal issue. I was born just 7 days before partition, on the wrong side of the country in the eastern Pakistan. Just as Bengalis, there are many Sikhs and Hindus in western part, suffered so immense, I would say, ethnic cleansing, genocide, or whatever you may call, on both sides. And millions of people, probably 10 million people, moved from one direction to the other direction. And that was still, even today, the most horrific incident of such a mass migration, ethnic cleansing, genocide. But after that event, India could recover. And in spite of such a terrible memory, today India is quite calm. It is a harmonious place where all religions, including non-Abrahamic religions, they live more in peace than almost any other country. So that shows the powerful impulse, the civilizational value I have called, that has been imbibed in us for centuries and generations. So our task is to keep it forward. It is even very important, even in the place where we live now. I've been living in London for 30 years, but I've never seen such an immense hatred being paraded in the streets of different parts of the country for certain wars going on in certain other parts of the world, and immense emotion and passion that is being generated. We need to calm down. We need to bring the temperature down. That can only be done with the preaching the mantra of unity, preaching the mantra of ahimsa. and maybe care, and possibly Karuna, as Gautam Buddha will say. So some of these concepts need to be reiterated even more urgently today, particularly for our younger generation of Hindus, Sikhs. They also face many, I know my son, my other people, they also face many hostility in different parts of the world. So we need to be really emphasize on this issue over and over again, and so that we can at least make some contribution to bringing down the temperature. I'll take another subject. I think I'm not sure today or yesterday was the 90th birthday of Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama, the most honorable, holiness, His Holiness, he fled China in 1959 and then lived the rest of his life preaching for the Tibetan, not only the Tibetan nationality Buddhism, but also the religion as such. And he is really the incarnation, I would say, of struggle to retain the faith, to fight out non-violent for the cause. He spent his entire life for that. Now, I've also seen the unity of our four religious faith, if you talk about it. You need not go, you need to travel from Kandahar, which is Gandhar, to Champa, Kambodge, Subarnadip. If you go to South Korea, Seoul, you will find the Sakyamuni's big temple. And then when I watched the coronation ceremony of King of Thailand some few years back, it was a site where the main ceremonies are performed by the Buddhists, but also has Brahminic priests offering the same. Now, this shows the unity of our entire civilizational religion that has come, which we normally call a non-Abrahamic religion. Of course, we also need to have dialogue with Abrahamic religions. We need to live with them, particularly in Indian continent, subcontinent is very important. But that's for another day. Now finally, I'll just take another sort of couple of words to mention to one, for the younger generation most importantly. Sometimes we are really apologetic about holding our religious belief. Many in fact seem to believe that religion is really old-fashioned, backdated and unscientific. This is completely wrong, particularly our religion. I would just like to refer to one book. If some of you are interested, you can see the Modern Science and Physics and Religions from the East. It is now known as the Tao of Physics by Dr. F. Capra, an exploration of parallels between modern physics and Eastern mythology. In these books, the central theme of this book is mystical traditions of the East constitute a coherent philosophical framework within what the most advanced Western theories of the physical world can be accommodated. Eastern mysticism here basically he meant the philosophies of Hinduism, Buddhism and Taoism. Robert Oppenheimer, Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, all three recognize the relationship between the philosophical ideas in the tradition of Far East and the philosophical substance on quantum theory and relativity theory. Well, as some of you know, I studied physics right up to the level of post-graduation. I did research on physics as well. So obviously, we need not shy away from holding our religion or talking about our religion to enlist anybody. But of course, with due modesty. Because our religion also teaches that there is no absolute truth. As Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev, the guru of Vivekananda said, Joto mat, toto path. There are as many roads to the truth as there are opinions. So we respect everybody's opinion, and that sort of opinion is very critical. Now, I was just interestingly, because Mr. Singh just was quoting the first line for Mula Mantra, I suppose from the Guru Granth Sahib. I read a poem, a book of poetry from the Every Night of the Year, edited by Eli Ishiaki. In that there is one poem which is basically first few lines of Guru Granth Sahib, the Mula Mantra. It Omkara, there is only one God. Satnam, external truth is his name, eternal truth is his name, Karta, Paratha, he is the great creator, need Bhaya, he is without fear, need Vaira, he is without hate, Akal Murut, immortal, without form, Ajuni, beyond birth and death, good Prasada. He can be reached through the mercy and grace of true God. I'm not sure.
The only thing I would say about that is that the word he does not exist.
Okay. I'm basically I said that I'm reading it from
the
this.
translation. If you
Yeah.
read Wisdom of Sikhism, which I wrote, it doesn't cover that.
Okay. So
But
that's.
that is the way.
I suppose this conveys the basic spirit. This is spirit.
Their meaning man.
Okay. I suppose they convey the spirit that I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, that is absolutely right.
Okay. Fine. So with that, I'll end, and I'll say that knowledge, enlightenment, is really the most important thing that we have. So I'll conclude it. Asotoma Sadgomaya, Tamosoma Jyotirgamaya, Nityoma Amritagamaya. Hopefully you have enjoyed the stream, and we will meet you afterward, after this, I think.
the life, the way it is, we need to accept. So today, my track is not working, but still I'm going to sing. So I hope you are with me, so I can sing. Thank you. শোক বলে ওঠো সারি ঘুমায়ো না এ জীবন গেলে ফিরে আসে না আবার শোক বলে ওঠো সারি ঘুমায়ো না এ জীবন গেলে ফিরে আসে না আবার সুখ বলে ওঠো সারি ঘুমায়ো না মনে রেখো এ সংসারে যারা করো বাস সব ছাড়ি সারটিতে রাখো অভিলাষ মনে রেখো এ সংসারে যারা করো বাস সব ছাড়ি সারটিতে রাখো অভিলাষ আসে যায় সুখ দুঃখ আলোক আধার এ জীবন গেলে ফিরে আসে না আবার সুখ বলে ওঠো সারি ঘুমায়ো না শয়নে বসিয়া কেন এখনো এমন কিবা পেলে কি হারালে মিছে ভাবো মন শয়নে বসিয়া কেন এখনো এমন কিবা পেলে কি হারালে মিছে ভাবো তোমারে ডাকিয়া বলে জীবন তোমার তোমারে ডাকিয়া বলে জীবন তোমার এ জীবন গেলে ফিরে আসে না আবার এ জীবন গেলে ফিরে আসে না আবার সুখ বলে ওঠো সারি ঘুমায়ো না এ জীবন গেলে ফিরে আসে না আবার সুখ বলে ওঠো সারি ঘুমায়ো না So we have only one life. Please accept it the way it is. Thank you very much. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Nan for allowing me this privilege. It's wonderful to be here today. And I met Swamiji in 1987, December. And I went a few times to the mandir there. And when he founded the first Om Day, I was one of the person who attended. And we all got a copy of the bhajan Om card. So I've been singing that for the last 25 years. And today somebody else sang it, which was wonderful, and to get the full meaning as well. Now the bhajan I'm going to sing today, it's about love. And it's by the blind poet Sur Das. And Sri Vishnu came down in 2 avatars. First as Sri Ram to spread love and to destroy evil, and then as Sri Krishna Bhagwan. So this bhajan incorporates both the Mahabharata and also the Ramayana. So I hope I can do justice to Surdas Ji. सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो, दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो, साग विदुर घर खाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। राजसूय युधिष्ठिर की हो, राजसूय युधिष्ठिर की हो, तामे झूठ उठाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। प्रेम की बस नृप सेवा कीनी, प्रेम की बस नृप सेवा कीनी, आप बने हरिनाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। झूठे फल शबरी के खाए, झूठे फल शबरी के खाए, बहुविधि प्रेम लगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। प्रेम की बस अर्जुन रथ हाक्यो, प्रेम की बस अर्जुन रथ हाक्यो, भूल गए ठकुराई, प्रेम की बस अर्जुन रथ हाक्यो, भूल गए ठकुराई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। ऐसी प्रीत बरी वृंदावन, ऐसी प्रीत बड़ी वृंदावन, गोपिन नाच नचाई, गोपिन नाच नचाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई। सूर क्रूर इस लायक नाही, सूर क्रूर इस लायक नाही, कह लग हर ये नदाई, सबसे ऊंची दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो, दुर्योधन को मेवा त्यागो, साग विदुर घर खाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, प्रेम सगाई, प्रेम सगाई. Now I'm not finished. We're going to have audience participation, and we want to hear really loud and clear. And you know, you all can sing this with me. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Repeat. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, 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 Hari Narayana Hari Om. Vanmali Murli Dhari, Vanmali Murli Dhari, Nit Nit Kar Makhan Chori, Gopi ke Manhari. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. आओ रे गाओ रे गोकुल के प्यारे, आओ रे गाओ रे गोकुल के प्यारे, आओ रे कान्हा रे गोकुल के प्यारे, आओ रे नाच नचाओ रे, आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ रे. हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation.
Jai Shri Krishna. I am going to sing the Om Bhajan. हरि ओम नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, हरि ओम नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, तेरी भक्ति का रस भर जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, तेरी भक्ति का रस भर जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में. तू दाता में दीन भिखारी, तू दाता में दीन भिखारी, तू स्वामी में भक्त पुजारी, तू स्वामी में भक्त पुजारी. तेरा राम नाम बस जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, तेरा नाम बस जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में. हरि ओम नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में. एक ही आशा है जीवन में, एक ही आशा है जीवन में, प्रभु बसो तुम मोरे मन में, प्रभु बसो तुम मोरे मन में. एक सत्य की ज्योत जले प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, एक सत्य की ज्योत जले प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। हरि ओम नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। सेवक हम है प्रभु चरण के, सेवक हम है प्रभु चरण के, प्यासे हम है राम भजन के, प्यासे हम है राम भजन के। तेरा प्रेम छलकता जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, तेरा प्रेम छलकता आए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। हरि ओम नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। हरि ओम 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 नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। हरि ओम नाम रम जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। तेरी भक्ति का भाव भर जाए प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में, प्रभु जी मेरी नस नस में। हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम।
Thank you so much, Mrs. Patel. Thank you, thank you.
at Navya School of Dance. Today we are doing a classical Bharatanatyam presentation for you all. The first kriti that we did is Pushpanjali, which is an offering to Lord Nataraj as a beginning. So that was our beginning piece. The second piece that we are performing is Bho Shambho, dedicated again to Shiva. Please watch us. Thank you. that we are going to do is a Krishna-based kriti, which is Swagatam Krishna. We will be showcasing a few glimpses from his childhood and then the life that Krishna had. We have tried to put it into a choreography and present it to you. Thank you. Let's all try.
Hello everyone. So the next piece that we're going to, next kriti that we're going to perform perform is a Tilana, followed by a Mangal.
program was started in the year 2000 by our Guru, Swami Nirliptananda Maharaj. And after 5 years, we now have our first large program. And thank you all for joining us. Firstly, I would like to thank trustees of the Buddhist Vihara for allowing us to use their venue. And the speakers, thank you for accepting our invitation to grace and speak on this occasion. A special thank you and appreciation to all the devotees of the London Sevashram Sangha who assist in preparation to bring this program together and make it a success. Our heartfelt thanks to all of those well-wishers. Without your unwavering support, encouragement possible, this would not be possible. Also, you have given us the encouragement to build our confidence and to carry on the Om Day program, a global vision for peace and harmony among mankind. For this, we are very, very grateful. And finally, and most important, thank you to our talented singers and performers from the Navya School of Dance. And finally, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to every one of you, devotees of the London Sevashram Sangha, visitors, speakers, guests, and those who have participated in making this annual Om Day event a memorable one. Let us treasure this moment as we journey towards planning the next Om Day, a global vision for peace and harmony. And thank you all very much for your help and support. Thank you. I'm sure my Guru is looking down on us as we recommence this.
Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Lead us from darkness, ignorance, to the light, to the truth. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Lead us from that darkness of ignorance to that light, Jyotir. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Lead us from this cycle of birth and death to moksha, to nirvana. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhave Om Dhau Shanti Rantarikshadvam Shanti Prithivi Shanti Rapa Shanti Paroshadaya Shanti Vanaspate Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Re